Hi guys, and welcome back to my self-employment series. This video is all about preparing for self-employment. So it can be done while you are still in employment if you are getting ready and you are unable to leave your job for say 6 months or a couple of years, however long. If self-employment is in your future, you can think about these things and start actioning them to get you going. So first of all, you want to think about what type of self-employed person you want to be. The main three options are freelance, which is you swapping your time for money. So you provide a service to a client and they pay you. The second one is a small business owner. So if you had a cafe or a shop, you would be a small business owner. There are other options obviously, but I'll keep it basic for now. So the third is entrepreneur. So this would be if you want to start a business and then grow it to the point where you can just sit back and let the other people do the work. No, but the idea is to grow it. So you don't just have a shop, you would have a shop and then you'd open another shop and another shop and another shop and it would keep growing. So those are your three types. So you'd want to think about which one would be right for you. So if you are a graphic designer, illustrator, plumber, then it would be freelance. If you want to open a shop or cafe or have sort of a physical premises, you would be a small business owner. There are other options, but I'm just giving you a couple for now. And then entrepreneur is if you had a great website idea or an app, or you wanted a chain of shops or restaurants. So the next point would be to think about how you want to register your business, and this relates to what kind of self-employed person you would want to be. So if you are a freelancer, you'd want to register as a sole trader. So the sole trader is like the most basic way of being self-employed. So you do your own tax return, but it's just a personal tax return. It's the most simple one. The main point with this one is that you are your business. So if your business goes into debt, it will be your personal assets that have to pay it off, which is a bit scary. But if you're a freelancer, then you shouldn't have massive startup costs. So it should be a case of you provide your service, you get money, and as long as you're careful, there's not a lot of risk of debt with that. Another option is to register as a limited company. And this differs from sole trader because everything is with the business. So if the business goes into debt, it doesn't affect your personal assets. So if you had anything where you needed a startup loan, like a cafe or shop, you would want to register as a limited company because it's a bit more high risk. There's also a partnership option. So if you, for example, wanted to run a business, so your skills are in the advertising, marketing, setting up websites, that kind of thing, and you know, for example, an artist who doesn't have a clue about the business side, then you can partner up and they will obviously provide their services, you run the business, and you decide how you split the income. So with that, a partnership could be a good idea because you have a partnership agreement which just has it in writing about like what cuts you take and just outlines all the rules, so there's no room for arguments or disagreements. Obviously all this goes a lot deeper, so if you want a video just on like registering a business, then let me know and I'll do it all in more detail. But that's the basic gist for now. So the second thing you can do while you're still in employment but looking for self-employment is save. Save every penny you can. Do not buy coffee, do not buy jumpers, just save everything you can. If you are looking to be freelance, my advice would be to get 6 months worth of living costs, and this isn't living extravagantly. This is like your basic rent, bills, food, transport, your necessities. Get enough for 6 months in the bank before you quit your job and flourish. I was made redundant, so I didn't have that option, which did kick me up the bum, but I wouldn't advise that. If you are starting a small business like a cafe or a shop, etc., I would get a year of money in the bank. I know that's a lot, but most businesses don't break even in the first year, so you want to be covered and give your business like the best possible chance of success. You'd also need to save capital. So capital is basically money for your startup costs. So say you open a shop and you need premises cost, you need deposit, you need council tax, you need stock, all those costs that you need before you start is your startup costs. So I mean, if you're a freelancer, it would probably be small. If you already have like a computer and the basic stuff, it'd probably be a website, domain name. That could be it. I think that's all I did for mine right at the beginning. And it's up to you if you keep your startup costs small or whether you go all out. If you obviously have really large startup costs, there are options of funding and loans, but that is complicated. And I've never gone down that route. I've always started with absolutely no capital. So it is possible, but it is something to think about. And it's good to have a good amount of savings in the bank before you take the plunge. This leads on. Next point is learn to live as cheaply as possible. If you look at your monthly outgoings and think, oh, I can't possibly save enough to quit my job and go freelance, then cut back, because it's worth it in the end. And you should be, if you're excited about self-employment, you'll be excited to get going on making it work and getting it all started. So the sort of spending money on shopping and maybe social occasions and stuff could be sacrificed for the fun of work. But yeah, it is worth it in the long run. So just work out what you need to basically live and go with that. Next point, network. So if you're itching to get going, but you can't leave your job yet, networking is a really good sort of exciting task. Maybe not for everyone, but for some people. So it's great to meet new people, it's great to contact people, it's great to talk to other people who've done what you want to do. It's so helpful and it should get you all inspired. Yeah, so just get going. Whether it's on LinkedIn, on meetup groups, just chat to anyone you can when you're out the house. Just talk to everyone and find out as much as you can, basically. Some options, if you're going to be organised with your networking, is you could look for potential clients, potential suppliers, mentors, so just people who have done what you've done that you can ask for advice. And lastly, you could work on your setup. So I'm going to do a whole new video on how to set up your new business. But just to get you going, it would be sort of like your website. Have you got a business name? Think about obviously what you want to register as, what you want your brand to be, what your services are, who is your target market. Write as much information down as you can. Maybe start a business plan. I could do a whole video on business plan as well. Oh my God. You don't have to have a business plan, and I know some people just catapult forward without one, but it's always good, more for you than anyone else, to just get an idea of what your goals are, what you want to achieve, steps, your market, everything like that. I know it feels like a minefield at this moment, but it won't, I promise. So yeah, even things like bank account, like could you open a business bank account? Have you got a separate bank account that you could use? Social media accounts, if you've got your business name, it's always good to set your social media up early, even if you don't post, even if you don't have a profile picture, it doesn't matter, it's done and it's another thing ticked off. Those are all things that you can do while still in employment and if you're looking for that self-employed journey in the foreseeable future. I hope it was helpful and I'll see you next time. Bye!